tell us in short about how KFactory was born and what made you choose this particular business idea, business field?
Long story short, we have started long time ago, 6 years, if I remember correctly. But officially we have launched KFactory in 2019. In December, during an interview in a local newspaper, we announced KFactory, that we announced that we are looking for investment. But before this official announcement about KFactory, we've been in two accelerators. One was Orange Fab, and this was the first contact with the startup world. We had the opportunity to attend to this accelerator, and then we attend to BCR InnovX. And it was the second chance to understand a little bit how the startup ecosystem works, what a startup means, what an investor means, and so on. And since then, officially we are an Industry 4.0 startup. We succeed to close 2 investment rounds, and we did, we think, a lot of things since then.
What made you choose this field, to work in Industry 4.0? What attracted you?
This is a quite often question, because we decided to go in this direction because we had the chance to work for some manufacturing companies, and we have IT and manufacturing background. Me and Adrian, as co-founders, my first job was in a manufacturing company, and also Adrian's. And then we switched to IT. And I can say that we have, and I like to say that we are very experienced IT guys with a very deep understanding of manufacturing industry. And I have to say that we had a chance to start a project with our first customer, and then we discovered that manufacturing is a very undigitalized industry, the most undigitalized industry around the world. And we have started to look at the opportunities, at the problems that manufacturing companies are facing, and we discovered that we have a big opportunity in front of us. And then studying the startup ecosystem, studying how a startup should look like, or which is the correct way for a startup, path for a startup, we decided to announce it as a startup. We are not, let's say, a typical startup. We have started with a project, then we had the vision to build a product. And then we announced that we have a startup. So we didn't start with a PowerPoint. we started in 2019 as an official startup with a few customers, with a very good understanding of the market opportunities and so on. And this was the story. We had a chance to be again in manufacturing and to apply and to put all our knowledge and know-how, IT know-how. And since then, it's clear that it's a huge opportunity, it's a huge market, and it's developing day by day. So we decided to stay in Industry 4.0. We have the plan we are planning also to approach other industries like field services, but manufacturing and Industry 4.0 will be always the core of KFactory.
Do you remember when you first heard about this concept of startups in Romania, and not only Romania, and what attracted you to pursue such a career, to be a startup founder?
Yeah, but I don't remember exactly, but I think the biggest event was UiPath. So UiPath bring somehow the startups in let's say, in attention to everyone. And I think, and honestly speaking, around 2019, or this was the Orange Fab was, as I said, the first contact with startup world, and this is the most important, let's say, moment, one of the most important moments in KFactory life, let's say.
How did you hear about the program, or how did you do your research to get into the right program that was for you?
Honestly speaking, we've been in contact before before Orange Fab with Christian and with Monica. Me and Adrian, before KFactory, we've been in an NGO, Civic Alert. And we have tried to, we've run a proof of concept for together with Orange for Alba Iulia. And we failed with this because I think it's important also to say that and to recognize that we failed with this NGO. And but we keep the contact with Christian, and then we go with KFactory. Hey, we have a company, a small company. Maybe it's interesting for you. And in that moment, Christian and Monica told us, okay, you are looking somehow like a startup. let's go in this direction and be part of this accelerator. And so
the rest is history.
This was the story. So they proposed us to.
You've mentioned failing with another project, and I want to ask you if also with KFactory did you have a plan B in case it didn't work, or did you give yourself some time to see how it would evolve?
No, I don't think we had a plan B. It's easy being in IT. If you are failing, you can find a job. So we are lucky somehow, whole IT guys around. And no, and I like to say that for us, being successful is not an option. So we are not working with plan B, let's say, with a plan B.
What did you find most challenging in the first years, or maybe even now while developing KFactory? What was most difficult for you guys?
So one of the most important and most challenging thing is to close the first investment round. This was challenging, to find a venture capital fund which understands what you are talking about, what is with Industry 4.0 and so on. Because at that moment in 2020, when we succeed to close the first investment round, I can say that in Romania the venture capital landscape was not so developed. So if I remember correctly, 3 or 4 venture capital at that moment. Now we are seeing a lot of venture capital coming, new venture capital funds are. So at that moment it was quite difficult for us to identify the right venture capital to talk with, and we've been lucky to find it, let's say.
Did you build KFactory with the purpose of being an international company from the start?
Yes, this was I think this is crucial. This is one of the most important things to go international. If you cannot prove this, it's over. So no one will put money in. The first objective was to create. This was to create a product. So this was we'd never been in this movie before, me and Adrian, and it was an objective for us to create a product, a platform which can be replicated, easy to be installed and adopted by the manufacturing companies. And second, yes, we have looked to the general problems of manufacturing companies and how we can solve this problem with our platform. It doesn't matter if the company is in Romania, in US, in Europe, or it's important, and we had this vision from the start. And I think it's correct. Each startup should think from the start internationally, otherwise it's not working.
What opportunities did you see on the market during the first months when the idea or the plan for KFactory appeared?
As I told you, we are not a typical startup. We didn't start it with a PowerPoint with an idea. We have started with a few projects, and we succeed to transform the projects in products. And after that, we paid more attention to the market, to general problems, and so on. So somehow we have started as an agile, with an agile approach. We didn't have the plan from the start, but we built it. And when we announced officially KFactory, it was clear for us which is the market, which is the plan, what are the steps, and what we need, what kind of resources, money, know-how, and so on. So we built it along the way.
You mentioned before that it's challenging that you were kind of alone for a long time. How did you see the Romanian startup ecosystem when you first started, and how did you see it evolve during these years?
Comparing with 2019 and with what is happening now, it's clear that in these 3.5 years, the ecosystem is completely different, more developed. A lot of startups, good quality startups, if I can say like this. The investors are more experienced with investments. We are seeing now we are having venture capital funds closing the first fund. So I think it's much more mature, much more developed, but still we have, comparing with other ecosystems from Europe or from US, we are far behind. So we have a lot of things to learn and to do, but I cannot say that it's much more easier to start something or to found a startup today, but the ecosystem is much more mature, and you have other opportunities comparing with what we had in 2019. So,
how do you consider the funding opportunities for startups in Romania? Do you feel that it's something missing from your own point of view and your own endeavors when trying to raise money?
Comparing with other countries, it's clear that also the investment and venture capital funds are behind somehow, because we started only a few years ago. So I think looking at the investment ecosystem, I think it's much more developed than a few years ago, as I said. But what is missing in this moment is the support from the government, for example. Last weeks we've been in UK at London Tech Week, and we've seen there a strong commitment of the government to attract any kind of tech startup in their ecosystem. And everyone from the government said this: come here, we give you money, we give you support, we have programs, come and put your startup here, move your intellectual property, and so on. So this is missing in Romania 100%. We don't have a real support, only some guys who are talking about that we should do something and so on. Support, I'm not talking about only about support in terms of financing or support in terms of legislation. For now, we are talking about eliminating the tax, zero taxation for IT. This is another kind of support you have to, as a government and local administration, to support in all areas, and this is missing 100%. Looking at the private money, I think we need more and more venture capital funds, and it seems that a lot of money are coming now from European Union through this kind of venture capital funds, which are attracting money. And yeah, we still need more also on this side.
What do you feel that Romanian investors and the Romanian investors should do more when working with you, the startup founders?
Investors, meaning business angels, any kind of investors?
Yeah, any kind of investors.
Yeah, I think we should stay more together, if I can say like this. So to be connected, to discuss about what a startup needs, what an investor wants, because for us was difficult to understand. Coming from the from a big company, it was difficult to understand how someone is giving you money without having EBITDA or without having a positive P&L. It was a nonsense at that time. So it was needed around 1 year for me to understand how come someone is giving you money. This is crazy. So it seems to be crazy, but it's not. And I think the education. So we have to stay more and to understand more, and because this is missing. We are not educated as investors, because okay, we have only 30 years of capitalism. And we need to educate more also startups and also investors.
And building on this, what's good and what's bad about Romanian startup founders, from what you've seen?
It's difficult because we are from Southeastern Europe, so it's difficult to go outside. A startup from Silicon Valley, you know what I mean. This is difficult. Also, the investment rounds are smaller here in Romania, and this not helps because you are accessing a small amount of money. And when you want to go outside, you have to be careful. That's why I'm talking about education of also startups and of the venture capital funds and business angels. Because if you are giving too much equity, then when you want to close the third or fourth investment round, you don't have equity to give, so you are somehow blocked. And yeah, it's difficult from this perspective. But on the other hand, we have a lot of IT know-how here, very good resources. So we have also strong points and advantages comparing with Germany or with other countries from within Europe.
And talking about this, what do you think that is our, let's say, secret ingredient as Romanians working in tech?
I think looking at the experience from the multinational environment, talking many languages, it's really an advantage. We don't have a very strong education system IT related, so this is clear. But somehow having those investments of big companies, we are seeing in Bucharest, in Cluj, in Timișoara, service centers with a lot of IT employees. This is, I think, this was a big advantage because we are benefiting from their knowledge. They created, investing in Romania and created this kind of services delivered from Romania. They created also, they educated people, attract people to IT industry and so on. So I think we are lucky somehow from this perspective.
For you in particular, I mean, KFactory, was it harder or easier starting from here?
I don't know what to say. If Okay, maybe let's put it other way. I think it was better to start from Germany or from other country, but I can say that we have good chances also for starting from Romania. Maybe it's you have some disadvantages, but I think it's okay. It's better to start if you can in Silicon Valley. Okay, of course, with some downsides, like very big competition, and so on. But you have an ecosystem mature. You have investors which are understanding risks and are understanding how the things are working with startups and so on. It's better to start from there. But it's okay to start also from from Romania, if I can say like this.
How do you see the evolution of the Romanian tech startup ecosystem, let's say in the next 5 years? Also trying to put a regional and European context on it. From your perspective, where do you think that we're heading?
I think this we will continue to grow. The ecosystem will continue to grow, and the fuel, let's say, are money. If we are attracting more and more funds, and I'm seeing in the last few months or few 2-3 years, I'm seeing private money, Romanian entrepreneurs selling their companies or listing their companies to stock exchange and reinvest the money in the ecosystem, which is great because private money are bringing this is the fuel of the ecosystem, if I can say like this, and having attracting this and also attracting from European Union funds, I think the acceleration, the growth will accelerate, or this is my view. This is supposed to happen.
Can you tell us what's next for KFactory by the end of this year and in 2024? What are your plans? What are your expectations?
We are planning on short term to close the third investment round. I think we are at the right in the right moment to close it, because we succeed to grow, we succeed to deliver the results, and we are prepared for the next step. The next step is to land, let's say, in at least 1 or 2 countries from Europe. And we are looking to Germany. We have tackled the German market 1 year ago, and we are also looking to UK, and we are looking for financing to land in these 2 new markets. And on midterm, we want to, let's say, to be an European well-known scale-up, Industry 4.0 scale-up, and we want to change something in this manufacturing industry, which is somehow behind with digitalization and technology. That's why we are trying to bring in new concepts like virtual engineers, to convince, let's say, manufacturing company to adopt this kind of new technology like virtual assistants. Now what is happening with ChatGPT is helping a lot, because it's demonstrating that virtual assistants are part of our life already and will be forever, most probably. So I think, and also looking to the market, it seems that industrial IoT, AI in manufacturing will grow in 5 years will multiply, the market will be multiplied by 4 in next 5 years, which is great, because it seems that we are on the right track and in the right market.